in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. While you shaking, we're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we begin the second half of the regular season for Season 4 of the NNSCRA Pizza Hut X Series. It's the portion of the season that I like to call the chase towards the chase for the championship. This is the part of the season where drivers are really going to have to start making their moves in the final 10 regular season races to be able to be in this season's chase for the championship. And it begins here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway as we prepare for the Hisense 4K TV 300 under the lights here, 40 laps. And start on the pole, a driver who actually got a little bit of a Charlotte experience a couple of nights ago. That's Carson Gum on the pole position. Of course, Carson Gum took part in the Hershey's Cup Series All-Star Open when he drove a Ford Fusion for Metal Maniacs Motorsports. So he's got a little bit of experience to be able to bring to the table here tonight. And we'll see if he can maybe pick up what would, amazingly enough, only be his first win of his Pizza Hut X Series career. Alongside of him is going to be Jordan Lopes. Lopes, a former winner this season at Bump Drafting. I was trying to think of what the track was, and now I remembered. At Bump Drafting Super Speedway. He's trying to look for his second win of the season. Now, Lopes obviously would love to be able to pick up win number 2, because up to this point, we have only had one-time winners. And so if Lopes picks up his second win of the season here tonight, he would jump immediately up to the top of drivers that would pretty much all but be confirmed in this season's playoff system, provided he remains in the top 30 in the point standings. But coming into tonight's race, we have had a total of 10 races, but we have had a total of 11 different race winners. They include Charles Jackson, Matt McIntire, Scott Roush, Justin Tucker, Seth Cole, Jordan Lopes, Chris Dollerton, Yin Canario, Dougie Shears, Nathan Hudson, and Aubrey Eisestein. And all of those drivers, with the exception of Hudson, are running in the top 30 in the points. So right now, 10 of the 12 available spots in the playoffs, if the playoffs were to begin right now, would be claimed by race winners. Will another one add their name into that list here tonight? Will Nathan Hudson get back into the top 30 in points, or will we see a two-time winner this season when the checker flag waves? We'll find out. Let's go down trackside now, get those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
Command is given, and as the pace car will lead this 42-car field around here for their pace lap, let's give you your top 10. The points coming into this race presented by Golden Corral. Angel Navarro, who rolls off fourth place here tonight, I should say, is your points leader coming into this race. Second in the standings is A Baranauskas. 1 point separates the two, and they both make up row number 2 here this evening. Chloe Ericsson's third in points, with Phil Parker in fourth, Charles Jackson fifth. The rest of the top 10 are Quentin Moore, Steve Morgan, Alex Gray, Matt McIntire, who won our last race out at Richmond, and J Jefferson. Only 2 former winners from this season are inside of the top 10 in points. The rest of them are outside the top points. Scott Roush 12th, Justin Tucker 13th, Seth Cole 14th, Jordan Lopes 15th, Chris Dollerton 16th, Yin Canario is 18th, Dougie Shears 19th, Aubrey Eisestein 23rd, and Nathan Hudson is 32nd. However, Nathan Hudson is only 2 points back from 30th in the standings, so maybe with a good run here tonight, he can move his way back into the top 30 for his win at Las Vegas to count towards a spot in the playoffs grid. Had 3 cautions in last night's Taxslayer Truck Series race, including a big wreck just around the halfway point. We'll have to see what these drivers are going to do in terms of how they're going to race this track. Turn 4, really the trouble spot it seems to have been for the last couple of weeks. And also maybe the potentiality of these drivers not being able to make it on fuel. We'll have to wait and see if this is a fuel strategy race. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here at Charlotte. Let's roll. Boy, Carson Gum shot out of a cannon, and he is gone. Baranauskas now moves to second. Jessica Miles looking to slot into third. Now what's going to be interesting is pretty much the running gag this entire weekend, including All-Star Race weekend as well, is that you cannot go 3 wide off turn 4 if you don't give room. Well, I just saw them go 3 wide off turn 4 there. I think it was Flickinger in the 96 was up there, and he didn't hit the wall at all. So we may not see the turn 4 issue that we've seen for most of this weekend take place in tonight's race. We'll have to wait and see. There you see them 3 wide again, and that time the 97 of Angel Navarro didn't hit the wall, but they're wrecking in the back. The 3 of A Eisestein was around, and the caution flag is out. A big wreck there in the trioval. I don't know if the leaders took the caution or not. Looks like they didn't. They're racing back to the yellow flag. Jessica Miles now out in front in the 25. Battle will be on for second between Baranauskas and Carson Gum. Coming back to the start-finish line. There you see the smoke lingering there just at the start-finish line. And through the smoke, Jessica Miles will take the first yellow flag of the evening. Someone's smoking already. Oh, look out. These are drivers at the tail end of the field. Ooh, look out. Oh, no, 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 no. Someone just ran to the back of somebody. I think it was Quentin Moore just ran in the back of Christian Merrick Jr. Ian Canario may have been involved as well. I think the problem was these drivers had crossed the line when the yellow flag was waving, and so they thought they were under caution. James Qualls has got a lot of damage. Car that was smoking was Christian Merrick Jr. in the 78. Oh, wow. Canario, who was up in 6th place. A lot of front-end damage now on his car after that stack-up. A Eisestein's on pit road. That was the car that I saw initially get out of shape. And already we are working our first yellow flag of the evening. And it looks like we may have a number of drivers out of the race after this one, too. So as Jessica Miles leads us under caution, let's go back and take a look at a replay of what happened coming out of turn 4 and right at the start-finish line. Well, this almost looked like an attempt to maybe go 4 wide off the corner, and it's Christian Merrick Jr. there in the 78 that gets the wall, and then James Shelly just kind of moved up and clipped him in the left rear. Turns him down to A Eisestein. Shelly sweeps up Phil Parker. Wow, that's a hit right there for the 78. Pretty hard lick as well for Aubrey. Garrett Sidner's going to get collected up in this. James Qualls was in it. And then just try looking through the smoke and see if you can find your driver getting through. Cole Deaver gets a piece. There's Chris Dollerton up and into the wall pretty hard. Can't tell if he gets run into behind by Chelsea Bowles or not. There's a couple of other drivers back there that are kind of held up. Jake Rogers, Dougie Shears, J Jefferson. For the most part, though, believe it or not, I think we only had at least maybe 4 drivers get significant damage. Dollerton, Eisestein, Christian Merrick Jr., and then potentially Phil Parker. But then we had that stack up, and that's what involved more drivers, most notably the 6 of Yin Canario. So I thought it was a much bigger wreck than it was, but most drivers were very smart, got on the brakes. Oh, no, wait a minute. We had another incident up here. And there's a couple of Swiggly Motorsports teammates that looked like they got swept up in it. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow. I didn't even see this happen. I was looking at the incident back behind, and I did not see the points leader Angel Navarro get involved in whatever this was. Let's see what this incident was here. Wreck's already taken place back behind them. And right about here is where something's going to happen. Oh, Angel Navarro just comes down to Cody Llamas. Gets sent down into the 92 of Joshua Hyatt. And the two of them are going to go up and they're going to hit the wall pretty good. Right in front of the 4 of Ryan George. And I think he is going to get by. But then they're all just kind of wadded up behind them. That's Mason Wood up on the high side there. And he's going to get crowded by the 32 of Daniel Olson. And then further back there's contact between Alex Gray, Eli Bright, Diego Yepez, Chloe Ericsson. Oh, right there, Joshua Osborne's going to get a piece of the 92 with the right front of his machine. And it looks like everybody just comes to a stop trying to not hit the 92 of Joshua Hyatt. And that would explain a big reason of why there was such a stack up that the leaders ended up encountering. Because we not only had that wreck on the front straightaway, but we also had the wreck going into turn 1. Steve Morgan there in the 60s facing the wrong way. Now James Qualls at this point doesn't have the left side damage that we saw him have afterwards. So something tells me he might have gotten run into by somebody. Let's actually fast forward a little bit here. And let's see what happens with the leaders here. Here's the 6 that we know did get a piece of the wreck with the stack up that took place. Now let's watch as the leaders all try splitting these drivers here. And off turn 2. Oh, yep, right there. There's where James Qualls got his left side damage, got run into by Quentin Moore, and then that immediate stop of his momentum, nowhere for Yin Canario to go, and he ran into the back of Quentin Moore. So 2 drivers that were running 5th and 6th at the time get damaged. Canario with front end damage, Quentin Moore with rear end damage. Moore did not come to pit road. Canario, on the other hand, did. And James Qualls, as a result, gets more damage on his Chevy Camaro. That's what put us under the caution, and that was the incident that happened under yellow. Let's go back now for the green flag and the restart. Smoke still lingers on the front straightaway, but the lights are now out atop the pace car. We'll go back green flag racing on lap 8 of 40. 2 drivers at this point have officially retired out of the race. Aubrey Eselstein will finish in 41st. Christian Merrick Jr. will finish in 42nd. That is a tough break for the 3 of Aubrey Eselstein, because she came into this race currently situated 23rd in points. She could ill afford a bad run here tonight. Now in the second half of the regular season, this could drop her down near the danger zone of 30th in the point standings. There will be 4 lap machines on the inside line to contend with, 37th through 40th. Garrett Sinner, James Qualls, Chris Dollerton, and William Brock. So also not the run Chris Dollerton was looking for coming into this race, as he was situated 16th in the points coming into this race, a former winner this year. Top 10 as we get ready to go back green. Jessica Miles is the race leader. A Baranauskas in second. Looks like she's in good position to maybe take the points lead over into our next event. Carson Gum, the pole sitter, lines up third with Jordan Lopez fourth. Quentin Moore there in fifth. We'll have to see how that rear end damage affects the 89 speed-wise. Matt McIntire is sixth. Charles Jackson in seventh. Cody Llamas in eighth. Kyle Langeland ninth. And Ryan George will complete the top 10. Getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Lap 8 of 40. None of the front runners came to pit road in terms of needing fuel. So at this point, we don't know if this is going to be a fuel mileage race or not. And you saw right there on that restart, the 89 did not get going. That says to me, Quentin Moore, that damage that he got after being run in the back of by Yin Canario, that could very well be affecting him quite a little bit as far as his speed is concerned. A Baranauskas getting boxed in there by a couple of lap machines. Garrett Sidner in front of her and James Qualls to her inside. That's allowing Jessica Miles, for the moment, to really open up a gap. Going back to Yin Canario in the 6, he did come to pit road, repaired his machine. He's restarted in the 27th position. Now, we've been to Charlotte 2 other times here in the Pizza X Series. We did not come here in the first year when it was the Almond Joy Series, but in Season 2, Cole Deaver went to victory lane, and the defending winner, or well, not the defending winner, but one of the former winners is in this field, and we've got another big wreck. Carson Gum hooks Quentin Moore, and another big wreck on the front straightaway. And as they race back to the start-finish line, I was going to say the other former winner, the defending winner, is Jordan Anderson, who's now in the Hershey's Cup Series as a rookie, who eventually became the Season 3 Pizza X Series champion. So Charlotte maybe plays a big role into who's going to be the champion of the series. I saw a number of drivers on pit road as we come to the yellow flag. One of them appeared to be the 11 of Nathan Hudson, and oh my goodness, why are these drivers taking so long to get away from the wreck on the front straightaway? Wow, look at the carnage. Canario, Chelsea Bowles, Osborne, Phil Parker, Christian Merrick Jr., Shelly, Ericsson, M McIntire. That might have been half the field. And one of the drivers I saw on pit road was Nathan Hudson, so it looks like his quest to get back into the top 30 will have to wait another week. And Cole Deaver, I just mentioned that he's a former winner at this track, the inaugural Charlotte winner in the Pizza X Series, and he's got damage. And now everybody's coming to pit road. Seth Cole was also involved in the wreck, it appears. He's on pit road, as is Alex Gray, as is Diego Yepez, Mason Wood, Z Flickinger. I think there were very few drivers that were not caught up in this wreck. Angel Navarro was in this one again. Quentin Moore was the car that I saw got hooked by Carson Gum. Woo, we almost had some contact there between Baranauskas and M McIntire. It looks like it's at least right side tires for the race leader Jessica Miles, and that's it. 2 tires and fuel, and she's down and away. So she'll be the race leader when we go back green. Looks like Kyle Langeland may have very well jumped up to second place. We'll have to wait and see, though. We'll set the field up for you when we come back. Let's take a look first, though, at a replay. Potentially the big one has struck now here at Charlotte. Coming off turn 4, and boy, Carson Gum had his hands full. Watch here as the 99 gets the wall, goes down to James Qualls, goes up, hits the wall again, comes down into William Brock, and right there that contact with William Brock sends him down into Quentin Moore. It was just on from there. Moore up and into the wall. Carson Gum's going to get hooked around, and then just watch how everybody just gets swept up in this. There's Charles Jackson, there's Cody Lamas, Justin Tucker, Steve Morgan, and then just nobody slows down. They all just start plowing in. I think that was Nathan Hudson that ran to the back of Daniel Olson. Ben Braley gets a shot there from teammate Eli Bright. There's Diego Yepez up and over. Hudson into the air. Quentin Moore up and into the air. Alex Gray flips over. Ashlyn Boyd is tumbling. Look at this. It's like a junkyard just off the front straightaway. There's Navarro. There's Wood. There's Parker. Osborne. Flickinger. Hyatt. Ericsson. Shelly. Deaver, Chelsea Bowles, Seth Cole, you name it, they're probably in it. And 3 cars come to rest up on their roofs. The 0 of Gray, the 21 of Yepez, and the 89 of Quentin Moore. That's the big one. That was definitely the big one that is struck here, and we're going to have very few race cars, I think, that are going to be coming to take this green flag that aren't damaged in some way, shape, or form. We may actually have very few cars that come to the restart regardless. We may have more drivers in the garage area than we do coming to the green flag when all is said and done. Let's find out if that's the case. Big wreck takes place here at Charlotte and may have whittled down the field a good bit. Just waiting for scoring to update itself so we'll know where a number of the retirees are going to officially finish this race. Now we do have a bit of an interesting situation for this restart as well. Chloe Ericsson and M McIntire, they came off pit road ahead of race leader Jessica Miles, but behind the pace car. So they are currently on the tail end of the lead lap, and they will restart ahead of the race leader, along with the lap machines that are in the inside line there, Sidner, Qualls, Dollerton, and Brock. So the 25 is going to start this run pretty much boxed in by slower traffic. Kyle Langeland did indeed take the second position off pit road. Will restart in the runner-up spot. Ryan George is now third. Teammate Scott Roush in fourth. And fifth place now is Mark Davidson. Jordan Lopez in sixth. Seventh on A Baranauskas. Charles Jackson, Eli Bright, and Ben Braley will complete your top 10. All three of the K Racing Tech drivers starting up inside the top 10. Now it's officially find out who is out of the race after the incident we just saw take place. 26th on down, Jake Rogers, Chelsea Bowles, Joshua Osborne, Joshua Hyatt, Mason Wood, Zach Flickinger, Quentin Moore, Angel Navarro. Apparently Alex Gray has not gone behind the wall yet, but Seth Cole, Nathan Hudson, Cole Deaver, Diego Yepez, James Shelly, and Phil Parker join Aubrey Eisestein and Christian Merrick Jr. in the garage area. So according to scoring, 26 cars are still running, and 21 of them are on the lead lap as we get set to go back green flag racing here on lap 15 of 40, and this should be a doozy of a restart. And there you see, slower car M McIntire plays a huge factor. Lead change, Kyle Langeland to the front. Saw how those slower lap machines on the inside line even were able to get by, and now they're hoping for a yellow flag. If they can stay ahead of the leader, they'd get back on the tail end of the lead lap. They're going to have to try and hold off Langeland and Ryan George, Scott Roush. They need a quick yellow. William Brock down the bottom trying to block the race leader Kyle Langeland. Ooh, a little contact there. Keep in mind the 62, 27, 1, and 24, they're all in the same lap, so they're all battling for position as well. As now Dollerton and Sidner, they're going to fall a lap down again. Brock will not let that 77 by, though. Now Qualls going to fall a lap down, and now Langeland going to try and make the pass on William Brock. He will get to the inside, but in turn, Ryan George is going to get to the inside of him. There might have been some contact right there between those two. Now George going to get to the inside line. His teammate Scott Roush in the 38 is going to follow. Roush, who went to victory lane a few weeks ago at the road course of Kiami, trying to get his second win of the season. Ryan George, on the other hand, trying to make it a Kev Shear Racing Tech sweep for all three drivers. Jordan Lopez winning earlier on this year at Bump Drafting, Roush winning at Kiami, and now Ryan George wants to get what would actually be his first win of his Pizza X Series career. Slow car M McIntire up ahead. I think he was just on pit road. Ryan George going to get to the inside of him, though. He'll make the pass easily. Kyle Langeland, though, got caught up on the outside line, and he's going to lose some spots. Oh, my goodness. Are they four wide? They almost were. I think they were. What a bold move by Mark Davidson in the 29. Got by Kyle Langeland for third and made it four wide with Langeland and two lap machines. Qualls and it was McIntire. That was close. Caution is out, though. Yellow flag waves again. Another incident on the front straightaway. And unfortunately, it came out a couple laps too late for drivers like Brock, Dollerton, Qualls, who were trying to get back in the lead lap. Looks like Chloe Ericsson was involved in this one in the 46. Apologize for that burp. I haven't had breakfast or lunch today, so apparently my stomach is saying, feed me. And so as the yellow flag waves, Ryan George is going to be the race leader just around the halfway point of this event. And it looks like it may not have been nearly as big a wreck as our last caution was, but then again, there are so few drivers on the racetrack as there were before, so that doesn't strike me as much of a surprise. So Ryan George leads us under caution. None of the leaders coming to pit road, so that tells me the pit stop they made under the last yellow means they're good to go for the rest of the way. Let's see what brought out this yellow flag. for, I believe this is our either third or fourth caution of the evening. I think it's our third, so let's see what happened. Bad night goes worse for Ying Canario, already collected up in a wreck when he was running in the 6th position, and now off turn 4 you just see that the engine lets go underneath his Ford EcoBoost Mustang's hood. He couldn't get to pit road in time and so had to try and limp it back around, and while he's slow, Chloe Ericsson's going to come down, and I don't know what the 46 was doing. I mean, Ying Canario gave her plenty of room, and she just came down and sideswiped him. I don't know if there was intent there or not. I mean, if you're Chloe Ericsson, you got to look at the big picture. Ericsson was, at the time, a lap down off the pace, but you look at her coming into this race, she's only 10 points back from the points lead. If A Baranauskas ran into some trouble here tonight and Ericsson was still running, she could take the points lead over, but I don't think she's going to take over any points lead now. And Canario, definitely that car was not able to refire because the engine was dead. So a tough break there for our Daytona winner. I believe that's the second time this season that he's had an engine failure take place under green. The last time was back at the Kiami Raceway road course. But that's what brought out the yellow flag. Let's go back now for the restart. Line them up, do it again. And Canario's car has now been taken back behind the wall. He'll retire out of the race officially in the 26th position. Chloe Ericsson, they brought her car to pit road. Did what repairs they could, and they've gotten her back out there. You see the 0 of Alex Gray. He's back on track, 4 laps down. M McIntire in the 9 is 3 laps down, and then the rest of the drivers in that inside line are 1 lap down. Brock, Qualls, Dollerton, Sidner, and Ericsson. Top 10 as we get ready to go back green. We are now past the halfway point of this race. There will be, I believe, a total of 17 laps to go when we do go back green. Ryan George is your leader. Teammate Scott Roush in second. Mark Davidson there in third. He's been making some bold moves on that last green flag run. Kyle Langeland now in fourth, and A Baranauskas sits in fifth. Sixth place is Justin Tucker. Pretty good comeback for the 19. J Jefferson there in seventh. Eighth is Jordan Lopez. B Braley in ninth, and completing your top 10 is Charles Jackson. Let's see if we can go green the rest of the way. We had 3 cautions in the truck race. We're up to 3 cautions here in the Pizza X Series race. Green flag is back in the air. Alex Gray clearly off the pace. He was up and on his roof in our second caution. Scott Roush did not get going. And the caution's out immediately. Yellow flag is already back out in the air. Must have had some stack up or something happen on the restart. And so it is our 4th caution of the night. And we've already got some cars on pit road. One looked like it was Dougie Shears. The other one looked like it could very well have been the 60 of our rookie points leader, Steve Morgan. Now, every lap that Ryan George leads under caution is one less lap that he's having to defend that top position under green, but it also now brings, potentially, I think it'll bring Scott Roush back to his bumper for the restart, since I don't think we'll restart with less than 10 to go. Yeah, there's more drivers there on pit road. Eli Bright and Chloe Ericsson. Something tells me Ericsson may have had something to do with the start of this wreck. So 3 Fords and a Chevy Camaro sit on pit road. And the entire front end is gone off the NOS Energy Ford Mustang. 4th caution of the night. Let's take a look and see what happened. Well, here's a look at it, and take a look at the hard hit that the 46 of Chloe Ericsson is going to have. Watch right here. She's going to get hooked in the right rear quarter panel by Eli Bright. And watch right here. She's going to hit right there. That is where the start of the safer barrier is. It juts out just the least little bit, and that's what the 46 hit. Dougie Shears hits her, and he went up and into the air. Cody Lamas got a piece of that as well. Also the 60 of Steve Morgan. And look at the wild ride that our winner from Rio, Dougie Shears, has taken. Oh my goodness, that almost kind of reminds me of Cody Lamas's ride in the infield grass off turn 4 at the season opener at Daytona, when he was kind of doing that train seal acrobatic flip. Ericsson's car comes to rest. Dougie Shears' car, I think, is going to come to rest up on the wall. Yes, it does indeed. Eli Bright, his car comes to rest, and Steve Morgan had already teleported to pit road. Let's take another camera view of this. I'll see if I can show you what I was talking about with where that wall juts out. This should be a good angle. Watch up ahead. If you notice, top of your screen right there. If you notice, just behind that caution light, there's a little area where the safer barrier starts. It juts out, and you'll notice that's exactly where the 46 is going to hit. Right here, swept up, and dead center hits that area. And watch the air, courtesy of Steve Morgan, that Dougie Shears gets. I don't know if that car completely went off the ground or not. Yeah, it did. Wow. That car was completely off the ground after it came off the banking and was over the apron. Just the combination of running into the back of Eli Bright and then getting jacked up from behind by Steve Morgan was enough to send that 7 car airborne. And look at that. Look at the air that 7 car is getting. Cody Lama's probably looking to his left saying, yep, been there, done that. But Cody also got some damage from that wreck as well. So about a 5 car incident, I think we could say, there out of turn 1. And we've had a lot of cars flipping here tonight. I think that's at least the 6th and 7th cars that we've had that have gone up and over so far here this evening. And you know, in terms of the volatility of the wrecks we've had and the number of cautions we've had as compared to our Truck Series race last night, I'm actually rather surprised. I was thinking this was going to be the race we were going to see more green flag runs, maybe a fuel strategy race, but no, this race has definitely produced a lot more carnage than we had in our Truck Series race last night, so I'm really shocked about that. More drivers back behind the wall. Cody Lamas has taken his number 48 behind the wall to the garage area, along with Eli Bright, Dougie Shears, Steve Morgan, and Chloe Ericsson. So Alex Gray 4 laps down. Looks like he'll finish the evening out no worse than 20th place. We have 14 cars still on the lead lap of, I believe, 20 cars that are still running. And it's still more than 10 to go, so those lap cars line up again on that inside line. William Brock going to try and get ahead of Ryan George this time. George was ready, and it looks like he may swing around the outside line very easily of the 62. Scott Roush right there with him. Oh boy, no, Ryan George did not clear the 62. And William Brock back up the inside line, trying to get his lap back. And if that inside line moves, one of those lead lap cars could very well move down to the bottom of the track and move up towards the front, maybe take the lead away from Ryan George. Looks like that first car that would be our Bristol winner, the 19 of Justin Tucker. William Brock trying just barely to get ahead of the 4. Hasn't been able to do it yet. Look at Mark Davidson. Oh, he's trying to tuck down in front of James Qualls. He succeeds. That 29 might be the car to watch. He now is the lead car on that inside line that's on the lead lap. Ooh, almost contact back there. Jackson, Baranauskas, and Miles going 3 wide. Ryan George still trying to hang tough on that outside line. They're now 3 wide behind him. Scott Roush and Kyle Langeland 3 wide with the lap car of James Qualls to the inside. Now keep in mind the 62 of William Brock is a teammate to the 29 of Mark Davidson, so this might be strategy on his part, trying to get his rookie teammate this win. Now he moves up to the top side. He's trying to throw the block on the 4 of Ryan George. It's going to be side by side for the lead. Davidson low in the 29, George up high in the 4. That's the battle for the lead going on between 2 drivers who right now, well, one of them is on the tail end of the lead lap. The other one is 3 laps down. And George is boxed in. Nowhere for him to be able to go. Oh, Brock into the wall, and there they go! Oh my goodness, that's practically the remainder of the field. Oh boy. Tucker was the one I saw get out of shape. And a number of others going to get swept up in it. Jackson, Braley, George. And as a result, Mark Davidson got away with the lead. they may have taken the caution when they slid across the line, so some drivers may actually have crossed the line sideways, but still be up inside the top 5. Pace car now picking up the 29 of Mark Davidson. But my goodness, this has been anything but a clean race. It's been exciting racing, but I don't think we're going to be able to name a winner until the checker flag waves in this one. Davidson's the leader, Langeland's second, third place Jefferson, fourth is now Daniel Olson, with fifth place currently Jessica Miles. Let's go back and see what happened. A lot more lead contenders involved in this one. Fifth caution of the night at Charlotte. Rookie Justin Tucker, who was looking for his second win of the season. Here's what happens off turn 4. I think the contact starts between William Brock and Ryan George. Sends Brock down into Matt McIntire, and I don't exactly know where the contact was that spun the 19 around. I don't know if Langeland got hit by somebody or not. Qualls got swept up the track. Hey, see Langeland? Yeah, he slid across the line in second place. But since the caution apparently had come out before the leader hit the start-finish line, Langeland still was able to resume the runner-up spot. Scott Roush hit that outside wall pretty hard with the 38. Jessica Miles there's got left side damage on her Napa Chevrolet, and she crossed the line. I think it was in 5th. So we'll have to see if she's going to have to come to pit road or not. Carson Gum slipped through. Jordan Lopez as well. There's Charles Jackson caught up there with Ben Braley waiting for the 19 to get going. And how about Ashlyn Boyd there in the 20, picking up some pretty valuable positions, as she was quite a ways back from the field. But I mean, tough break for a number of drivers that were up there at the front. Ryan George and Justin Tucker. And we have been told that Justin Tucker has taken his Toyota Camry back behind the wall. So what was looking to be maybe a promising night for the driver of the Eris Camry out of Joe Gibbs Racing, it's going to come to an end here with less than 10 laps to go. Well, in for maybe the restart of his life, rookie Mark Davidson trying to get his first career Pizza Hut X Series win and trying to get that 29 car for William Brock Motorsports, its second win of its career in this series. Kyle Keith was the first driver to put that Camaro in victory lane last year at Daytona. It'll be a single file restart. The lap cars will intermingle with the lead lap cars, which means Kyle Keith will have the lap machine of Matt McIntire between himself and the second place car of K Langeland, who you can see visibly has some left side damage, so he may not be completely 100% up to speed. Third place starter, A Baranauskas. Fourth place, J Jefferson. Fifth place is going to be Daniel Olson. Jessica Miles in 6th, but we know that she has left side damage. Then the rest of your top 10, take a look at this. You got Jordan Lopez 7th, Charles Jackson 8th, Carson Gum is still up in the top 10 in 9th, and Ben Braley completes the top 10. And then there's only 2 more drivers on the lead lap, Ryan George 11th and Ashlyn Boyd in 12th. Scott Roush is out of the race after we saw him pound the outside wall along with Justin Tucker. And that leaves us 18 cars still running with, as I said, only 12 of them on the lead lap. Here we go. It's going to be 4 laps to go here tonight at Charlotte. Can Davidson hang on? Green flag is in the air. It may come down between teammates. Got Davidson there in the 29. Not too far back is the 2 car of A Baranauskas, who's got right and rear damage on her Delta Airlines Camaro. Cleanest car in the field is the 29, the car out in front. K Langeland made the quick pass there on Matt McIntire. Now he's going to try and catch up here to the 29. Don't count out that 0.5 of J Jefferson, though. He doesn't look like he's got very much damage. He may be completely up to speed. Mark Davidson hoping that these lap times tick away really quickly. Battle is on potentially for second. J Jefferson, he will get to the inside of K Langeland. He's bringing Daniel Olson and Jessica Miles with him. But is there enough time for Jefferson to complete the pass on Langeland and catch up to Mark Davidson to try and take this win? 2 laps to go. Battle between teammates back there for 8th, Carson Gum and Charles Jackson. But the battle up front, it's Davidson, Jefferson, and Olson. They all end with Son. The odds are in favor of somebody with the last name ending in Son going to victory lane. Oh, look at this. J Jefferson with a nice run there out of turn 4. This is going to be a good battle here as the white flag is displayed. Can J Jefferson close up the gap quickly enough here out of turn 2? Daniel Olson now side by side with his teammate for third, so it's on between Mark Davidson and J Jefferson, but it is about a car length and a half separation back to the Reddit Camaro. Mark Davidson gonna get his first career win here tonight. He takes the checkered flag in the Hisense 4K TV 300 at Charlotte. First win of his career, and I believe I am correct in saying it is the first win of the season for the William Brock Motorsports team. Second time the 29's been to victory lane in this series, and first time, as I stated, in his career for Mark Davidson. Davidson had a pretty dismal Richmond race a few weeks ago to cap off the first half of the regular season, ended the first half in the 24th position in points, but certainly going to jump up in the standings after this victory here tonight. And now the question is, has Mark Davidson locked himself up a spot with this win in this season's playoffs? J Jefferson so close to picking up what would have been, I believe, his second career Pizza Hut Series win, first of the season, but he'll have to settle for second place. Daniel Olson held off his teammate K Langeland to get third. Langeland will have to settle for fourth, and Jessica Miles will finish in fifth. A Baranauskas, damaged race car and all, brings it home in sixth, so A Baranauskas will be the new points leader atop the standings. Jordan Lopez finished seventh, Carson Gum in eighth, ninth for Ben Braley, and Charles Jackson completed the top 10. Last two cars to finish on the lead lap were Ryan George in 11th and Ashlyn Boyd in 12th place. Everybody else that finished was off the lead lap. Garrett Sidner in 13th, James Qualls 14th, Chris Dollerton 15th. Not a bad run for being a lap down. William Brock 16th, Matt McIntire was 3 laps down in 17th, and Alex Gray finished 4 laps down in 18th. Everybody else, though, was out of the race. As you look on down here through the remainder of the finishing results, we had 24 drivers finish this race behind the wall. Only 18 were able to come around to take the checkered flag. Most notably, of the drivers that finished out of the race, the guy who came into this race as the points leader, Angel Navarro, finishes 34th, so he will lose the points lead to A Baranauskas, and we'll have to see where this DNF situates him heading into our next Pizza Hut X Series race. But that is going to do it here tonight from Charlotte. What a wreckfest. But when the dust settled and the smoke cleared, Mark Davidson emerged victorious with his first career win in the Pizza Hut X Series. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. We have shown your full finish results. These are your rookie point standings and your overall points. You will notice that during this point of the season now, the second half of the regular season, I will be highlighting the 12 drivers that currently would hold playoff spots in yellow. So if the chase were to begin now, these are the 12 drivers that would represent their respective teams in the postseason. Next race you'll see these Pizza Hut X Series drivers at will be in 2 weeks when we head into the desert at Phoenix. We got to finish up our race weekend here with the running of the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race of the season for the Hershey's Cup Series, and then the Trucks and Hershey's Cup Series action will continue next week at the Lady in Black, the home of the Darlington Striped Darlington Raceway. You won't want to miss that action. Till then, I've been Seth Cole. You've been watching a production of the SRA Offline Racing. At its best, we'll see you guys tomorrow for the Coca-Cola 600.